Hey YouTube, how's it going this morning? I'm driving down to Orlando from Jacksonville today, and it's pre-dawn. It's about 6 a.m. I figured I would just do a quick short nighttime video, show a little bit more of the contrast on the screen, show a little bit more contrast at night on beta 10.0.1. It'll be probably a pretty short and hopefully uneventful drive, but in any case, I figured I would do it for you. Creeping out here to my unprotected left at a very low traffic scenario, and it's wide open for the moment, so it can go whenever it wants. Okay, it's waiting in a bad spot. It looks like it's waiting on traffic from the right now. Okay, so this definitely confirms that behavior. Okay, it needs to go. That definitely proved to me that it was waiting on traffic from the right. As this traffic from the left was approaching, it was actually in the road, but it was waiting on the gap from the right. So, that kind of proves that the unprotected left here with a median is a three-part maneuver, really. Creeping, crossing the lane 1, getting into the median, and then getting into lane 2. So, who knows? Maybe it wasn't uneventful. I learned something. Well, I didn't learn it. I think I knew that already, but it was a good example of proving that it was waiting on cross traffic from the right. So one of the other reasons I kind of wanted to test this this morning, a few of you on my last video gave me some feedback that my screen recording slowly got out of sync as the video went on. It was about a 20-minute video, and at the very beginning I synchronized it with a clap, but at the very end my audio was about 2.5 and almost 3 seconds off. So I'm experimenting a little bit with my capture device. I was recording it at 60 frames per second, which was the highest frame rate the capture card supported. This time I'm trying it at 30 frames per second, which more closely mirrors what the GoPro is recording in. Sorry YouTube, my GoPro stopped. Wow, it's kind of like a keyword with Alexa. You can't really say what it's doing without actually making it do it. Anyway, the camera stopped, and I had to do another clap maneuver so I could resynchronize my screen. Alright, so we're getting out of the passing lane here. It says to follow route, but the route's 3.5 miles ahead. I think perhaps just getting out of the left lane, which was always good. Interesting. It had already committed to going through the yellow light, but then proceeded to brake afterwards. So that definitely showed a little bit of latency on that stoplight. Once you're under the light, there's no reason to tap your brakes. slowing down here for greens. I don't know why it does that on these double yellows or double green lights or double stop lights. It's always an interesting scenario. It's almost like it sees one light and then it's thinking about the next one and it taps the brakes or something like that. Interesting how far this car is over, and it's actually correctly rendering it. That car is hugging that white line. I don't know if it's because I'm right here on his quarter panel or not, but that is an accurate representation of where that car is. Maybe a little bit more to the right than the car. His right tires are right on the white line. Changing lanes, coming up on the access ramp for the interstate. Looks like we're going to have a stoplight first with some lead cars. Alright, need to get in the right lane. Chose to do a lane change in the intersection. I'm going to mark that just because it really shouldn't do that if possible. Alright, got a lead car for speed control on this ramp. And this next maneuver is probably the one I'm most anxiously anticipating with the full stack that we hopefully will get on 10.1. The merging of the FSD stack to the NOA stack is merging from city streets onto NOA. Right now, I do not really like... Whoa, gosh, I hate the way it does that. Okay, so I disengaged there for the same reason that I disengage every single time that I'm coming off of a rounded ramp. And if there's a car perfectly timed adjacent to me, the car goes too far on the outside edge to even touching the white line. And there was a large truck with a trailer that was perfectly adjacent to me, and it felt like I was inches from sideswiping. Granted, I disengaged to not let it get too close, but the car very frequently does wide on-ramps when there's an acceleration onto a highway. And I don't know if that's NOA or FSD. I think it's still FSD because the screen usually hasn't changed yet. But I think it has to do with the acceleration and the turn radius. I've mentioned that to FSD, to Tesla before. I hope they can fix that. Alright everybody, that is all I have. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here. Have a great day.